Hi guys, I'm Annabelle, and welcome to Meeple Village. Today we're going to be doing a solo playthrough of Aeon's End, so join me at the table and let's play it. Okay, so I have the game set up. I've already chosen our scenario for today and the character. I'm going to be doing a solo playthrough because I realized that the last time I played this game on the channel, which was about 2 years ago, believe it or not, it's still in my collections. I love this game. I did a 2-player run through, and which was great. It showed you the mechanics of the game and everything. But today we're going to do a solo playthrough to show you how that works and that it's still a very playable game. The only difference, like I mentioned 2 years ago, is that when an ability asks to do something to an ally, you are the ally. And if it allows it to do it to another ally, then you get to do it again. So we will take advantage of that and see how the game goes. So I've chosen the Umbra Titan to start. So let me show you his setup instructions. So he is a level 3 monster. Shouldn't be so hard. I did want to make it super difficult because I am going to be talking to you guys. So I kept it pretty simple, but I also did not pick the same monster that we used last time. So for his setup, the Umbra Titan starts with 8 Nemesis tokens, which I have set up right here, 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't even know if those are the real tokens. Like I said, this game has tons of different tokens, and it also because I bought a couple of expansions, a few expansions. So by now, there's some that I don't remember what the token for the monster is, and I wish that there was some icon or iconography that would tell me, okay, these are the Nemesis tokens for this Nemesis. But there isn't. So, but you know, anything works really. So those are going to be our 8 Umbra Titans tokens for now. If you flip the card, it gives you a little bit more information. Starts at 70 health, which I already marked over there. So that is the Nemesis starting health, 70. We gotta do 70 damage, which is not easy, being that we start with a bunch of sparks that do 1 damage, but sure. And then when he unleashes, if there is 1 Nemesis turn order card in the turn order discard pile, any player suffers 2 damage. If there are 2, then Gravehold suffers 2 damage, or Umbra Titan loses 1 Nemesis token. So I guess if there's none. And then you can increase the difficulty, but I haven't. And then additional rules, which only means that he starts with, I think, less tokens. Yeah, 5 tokens instead of the now that he has 8. When Umbra Titan has 0 Nemesis tokens, Gravehold's foundation is undermined. Gravehold collapses into rubble and the players lose. So we can't lose Gravehold this scenario. And also, before I forget, something of importance is that in a solo game, if your hero loses all his health, you don't lose the game. You still go through the things that happen when a hero is, I guess, exhausted. You lose a breach. There's a couple things, and we'll go through them if it happens. I know you lose a breach, you lose your charges, and then from then on he can now gain life. And any life that he loses, another player has to take it. But since here there's no other player, Gravehold suffers that amount of damage, but twice. So if we suffer 4 damage, then Gravehold will be suffering 8 damage. So I kind of want to keep him alive if I can, but we'll see how that works. That will depend on a lot of things. Alright, other than that, the Nemesis has a deck of cards right here, Nemesis deck, that are in order, ascending order from like 1 to 3. So the 1 cards, which is a couple of them, I think 3, are easier, and then we go to a level 2, where the scenario gets a little harder and we get more stuff, and then finally level 3, which is, of course, by then we better have become powerful and be able to defeat the Umbra Titan, or else we're in trouble. Down here we have Gravehold's life. Remember, I told you, if in this scenario, if Gravehold is at 0 life, the town kind of like lost all of its inhabitants, I guess. It got destroyed and we lose the game. This is the turn order, and in every game we're going to have the players have 4 cards. And then the Nemesis has 2 cards, so there's 6 in total. So there's the 2 Nemesis cards, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 for us, and of course we're going to shuffle that. And if I was playing with other players, then player 1 will have 2 cards, player 2 will have 2 cards, and the Nemesis will have 2 cards, so everybody will act twice. and with other player accounts. I think that when it's 3 players, you get a choice. There's a card that gives you a choice between do you want the first player or second player to go, and then there's one for the first player and one for the second player, etc. I believe that's how it works. I haven't played this game in forever, and I never play with 3 players. I usually play 1 or 2. All right, moving along, we've got the market, and in the market we have gems. We have 3 gems at our disposal. You can pick them randomly, or you can look through the billion cards and pick your favorite. I did a little bit of both. I picked some randomly, and then I wanted to make sure that the money, their cost, which is on the top right corner of the card, was a little bit different. In case I have more money, I can get the more expensive ones. If I don't have enough money, I can get the cheapest ones. I kind of did a little bit of both, like I said. And then underneath those, we have 4 spells, so 3 here and 1 here. And same deal, I kind of tried, although some of them were random, but to have cheap spells and then expensive spells. And finally, and of course, spells are going to be what's going to be attacking minions and the boss, the Umbra Titan. And then finally, we got relics, 2 relics in every game, and both of these cost 3. Just happen to be that way. There are more expensive relics and cheaper relics, but for this game, we just have the 2 that cost 3. One of them which lets me heal, which I picked because I really want to have a little bit of healing available if I need it. And relics are kind of like they usually just give you a special thing, like healing or making your breaches stronger, or focus in them, which means that they're closer to opening, which I'll explain when all that happens. And then finally, we have our player area. We've got, I don't know, he's too cute to not play with him. Lost. I mean, look, he's got like a little dino toy. We start, usually I put the player number here. He would be player 1 because there's no other player, but if you have more players, you have a token that indicates what number of player they are, just so that you remember. He starts at 10 life. Everybody always starts at 10 life. And he's got over here what his starting hand is, which I've already put together, and what his starting deck is. And he's got an ability that if I charge up these charges with mana, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, it would cost me 10 mana to fill them all up. It's 2 per. Then I can trigger it, and his ability is return up to 4 cards that cost 0 in your discard pile to your hand. And then he's got his breaches, and you'll understand that as the game goes on. And down here it tells you how to place them. So the first breach is open, the second breach is kind of open, but not really. It still has a little bit more. And the third breach is kind of definitely not open, and neither is the fourth. And I gotta say, the third and fourth breach do a little bit more damage than the first and second, so you kind of want to open those, but it'll be a while until we do it. You open that with money. Most of the time, you're going to be spending money on opening your breaches, on charging, and on buying cards. And then your attacks, you're going to spend on either the minions that come out or the nemesis. And another use for mana is to stop incoming powers that the nemesis will have, and you most probably will see that as we play. Also, Lost, this little guy, has a special deck that I've kept off camera. He pretty much upgrades starting cards to a little bit better starting cards, but they still cost 0. And you'll see that because he's got an ability right off the bat that will let you do that. But I think with that we are done. Everything else I'll try to explain as we go. So we never know whose turn it is. That's why the turn order card is here. In this game we don't shuffle a lot of things. Our decks are never shuffled, which I love that part of the game. But the turn order are always shuffling. So in order to know who's going to act, we just turn over a turn order card, and it is Lost. So Lost is going to go ahead. So the turn has a couple of phases. The first phase, or at least 2 important phases, I should say. So the first phase is to cast your spells. So if you have any spells that you need to have prepped on your breaches that are open, then you can cast those spells and do damage. However, in the first turn, there are no prepped spells. So we're going to go to the second important phase of the game, or your turn, which is the main phase where you get to do a couple of things. You get to prep spells, so you get to put spells on open breaches. You get to use your mana to focus as a breach, and if you focus a breach, you don't open it. You just kind of turn it, making it cheaper to open next time or whenever you can. And you can prep a spell to a focused breach. And then you can also use your mana to, of course, charge or buy cards, like I said. So I'm gonna show you what he's got in his hand, and we'll go from there. Okay, so not surprisingly, he's got, I mean, obviously all starting cards, and you know exactly what's in their deck because the player board tells you exactly what cards are going to be in your hand before you start. But basically, he's got 2 attacks, so 2 sparks. And then he's got 2 crystals, so 2 money. Each one gives him like that mana symbol, which is a money. And then he's got his Heart Forge, which is a card that is unique to him and him alone. No other character uses this card. This only goes in his deck. And it gives you a choice. You can either gain 1 mana, 1 money, or you can destroy a spark or crystal in your hand, gain a card of the same type from the Forge deck, and place it into your hand. So I'm going to go ahead and destroy a crystal. And destroy means it's out of the game. We're never going to see it again. And it's going to turn into a forged crystal. Now, just to compare, this one gives you 1 mana, this one gives you 2 mana. So like I said, it's a little bit of an upgrade to our starting cards. The cards still cost 0, which means that it will be triggered by his ability of returning 4 cards that cost 0 from your discard pile to your hand. When we use his ability, of course. Alright, so these are my cards. I'm going to play my 2 crystals, which means I have 3 money. And when you play cards, you place them on the table to designate that they've been used, that you've been playing them, that they're in play, they're no longer in your hand. And with that 3 mana, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this breach that costs 3 mana to open, because that way I have a spot. And I've used this card too, so I have played it. So it's here. And that way I have a spot to put my 2 spells, because I need to put them to open breaches. So now I have 2 open breaches. So now I have 2 things prepped for my next turn. I can cast these spells. Each will do 1 damage. And now at the end of my turn, that's all I can do, because I'm out of mana. I used all my mana, and I cannot. I don't have anything else to play. At the end of my turn, all the cards that I played go into my discard pile. If I have not played a card and it's still in my hand, it'll stay in my hand. And I always get 5 cards, so I will draw up to 4. I will draw up to 5. So I have 1, I will draw 4, and be up to 5 again. But the interesting thing of this game and the cool mechanics is that you get to place your cards in the discard pile in whichever way you want, because you don't shuffle. Like I said, you don't shuffle your discard pile when you're out of cards. You just flip it over and keep going. So the card you place first, you're going to see faster. So I'm going to put my Heart Forge first, and then after that I'm going to put my crystal, because I'm hoping to see them together so that next turn I can turn this crystal into a forged crystal. And then I'm going to put my forged crystal on last, so I'll see it last. And that's it for my turn. At the end of my turn I draw another 5, which is everything I got, of course. And then we turn over another turn order card to see whose turn it is. So it is my turn again, and of course there's 4 of my cards there, so it makes sense that I get to go back to back a few times, and maybe the Nemesis will act. He will. He's in there somewhere. So at the beginning of my turn, the first thing I get to do is to cast my spells. Now I have spells to cast, so I'm doing 1 damage, and there's no targets except for the big boss. And once I do cast my spell, I have to put it in the discard pile. It doesn't go on my play area. I didn't play it. I already used it, so it goes on my discard pile. And of course, this guy's going to go down to 69. And right after that, I'm going to hit him again with my other spark. He's going to go down to 68. So we've already done 2 damage out of 70. Woohoo! All right. And then I go to my main phase. Let me show you what cards I got. And again, we knew exactly what we were going to get, because he had those cards are in his player board. It tells you exactly what cards are in his deck, so you know what cards you're going to get first and second turn. After that, then it'll depend on what cards you buy. So I have 3 mana and I have 2 sparks. You know I'm going to prep these, and that's one reason why I opened the breach early in the game, because I knew that I was going to have 2 sparks the first 2 turns, and I needed somewhere to put them. And then I have $3 or 3 mana, I guess is what they call it. So I could either focus this breach, but I don't have that many spells, so I don't think it's right now important. I could charge, but it will cost me 2 to charge once, and then 2 again, and I only have 3, so I would be wasting $1, which I try not to do if I don't have to. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get a little bit more mana. So we're going to get a Lurking, what's it called? Lurking Cyanite. which gives me $2. And if there is a lurking Psionite in an ally, remember ally is me, in my discard pile, gain an additional 1, so it would be 3 mana. So not a bad card. For $3, you get 3 mana. And when you buy a card, it goes straight into your discard pile. These I've played, and now I can choose in what order I want to discard them, but of course, they're all the same, so it doesn't matter what I discard first. And then I flip over my deck without shuffling it, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are going to be my 5 cards for my next turn. We're going to see who's next. It could be the Nemesis, and it is the Nemesis. Alright, so the Nemesis turn is pretty simple. You're going to draw a card. First, you're going to resolve. There are cards that stay in play. A lot of these cards stay in play. There's some that you just do what the card says and you discard it. But a lot of them stay in play. So first you would activate whatever cards are in play, and then you draw a new one. So each turn he's going to draw, each time he goes, he's going to draw a new one. He got a Throne Commander. So this little guy is a minion that's going to stay in play. He has 1 health. That's that number there. You see that he comes from the level 1 deck or deck of cards. And then he has an ability that if he's still alive when the Nemesis acts again, which most probably he will be, if there are 2 or more other minions in play, Gravehold suffers 6 damage and discard this minion. Otherwise, any player suffers 2 damage. So I'm going to get hurt already. And then this symbol is actually from one of the expansions. I've got everything mixed up. Because you can play with everything, and they denote this shields, and each shield, to get rid of it, is 1 damage, and you cannot hit him until he's out of shields. So that means I have to do 4 damage to him. So I don't think I can do that. But we're gonna try. and I will tell you, these cards as minions, all of the cards that the Nemesis plays, they're like when you go to an all-you-can-eat buffet, and you got the lobster tails that you can eat as many as you can, but then they have pasta and rice and vegetables and all these other distractions, so that you get filled up with that stuff and you don't eat the lobsters. So that's exactly what these guys are. They're distractions, because if you don't hit them, they're gonna have nasty effects. So you want to hit them, but because you're hitting them, you're not hitting the boss like I was doing at the beginning of the game. And you're gonna put 1 health on him, so we know how much we gotta hit him for. And that was it, because he didn't have anybody else active. But the next time, which he's here somewhere again, this guy's gonna activate and another card is gonna come out. He might be next, but he's not. It's me. Okay, so I gotta go for the distraction. Especially since these sparks only deal 1 damage, and that's exactly what I need to get rid of a shield. So we've gotten rid of 1 shield, and we've gotten rid of another shield, but he's still very much alive. And I don't like that, but it is what it is though. Alright, and then in my hand, I got 2 sparks, I got my forge crystal, I got a basic crystal, and I got my heart forge again. So I got $2 and $3. I got 2 sparks that I can prep, and I can turn either a crystal into a forged crystal, so I have $4, or a spark into something that deals 2 damage. I would love to do my spark, but I'm hitting this guy, which only takes, it only takes 1 damage. So I think maybe I should just go for the crystal and have a little bit more money. With $4, I can get 2 charges. I can also gain Draining Touch to deal 1 damage and gain 1 charge. So yes, I'm going to use my Heat Forge, and I'm going to destroy my crystal and get a better crystal, which you've already seen. Forge crystal, and it goes into my hand. So actually I only have I have $4, because these are $2. And my spark will just remain 1, because if I do get to go again, there is a 50-50 chance. There are 2 cards left. With these 2 sparks, I'll be able to defeat this minion, and then we'll just deal with whatever else comes out from the Nemesis deck. So with $4, I was going to buy a Draining Touch. I also need to start thinking of opening more breaches, especially these 2 that give me extra damage. So I should start thinking of that. But I didn't have enough spells to place, but now I'm buying spells, so now it's a good time to start doing that. Alright, so these are the cards I've played. I'm going to put the 2 Forge crystals here first, so I can see them first, and then my Heart Forge I'm going to put on top, because I know that next time I go, these things are going to be next to my heart forge, and then I can start upgrading my sparks. But that's it. I draw 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. And since my deck is right now not too thick, I am grabbing from the discard pile already. Alright, so is it me or is it the nemesis? Okay, it is me, which is probably the best that could have happened because I'm going to use a spark to destroy a shield. And then I'm going to use a spark to defeat the minion. And he goes in the nemesis discard pile. And that's all I can do as far as casting. And then for my hand, I've got $2 and then crystal, crystal, crystal. So I am at $5 and then I have a spark, a single spark. So with $5, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use $3, 2 and 1, to focus this, sure, for 3. And I can prep a spell here. It doesn't matter. It doesn't give you the +1 until it's open. So this thing is only going to be doing 1 damage. And then I have $2 left, which I think I'm going to start charging. So I can use my ability. And then I want to see probably the lurking first. I do need to buy me a second lurking or else I'll never get $3 because there will never be 1 in my discard pile. But that was it for this turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got 5, and we know it's the nemesis turn because there's nobody else left. So he has nothing already in play, so we get another monster. And this one is 5 health, and if the nemesis has 2 turn order cards in the turn order discard pile, Umbra Titan loses 1 nemesis token, otherwise Grateful suffers 2 damage. Nasty. This guy is pretty strong. We are nowhere near giving, creating 5 damage in our turn. We will have 1 damage next turn. So we're out of turn order cards. So we're going to shuffle and just put it back and keep going. And the first player is the nemesis. So there we go. So it's he's going to act. By the way, I forgot to put his counter here. There we go. If the nemesis has 2 turn order cards, he doesn't. So otherwise, Grateful suffers 2 damage. So Grateful is gonna go down to 28. And we are 28 away from losing. And then of course something else is gonna come out. Okay, so this is a power. So if we want to get rid of it, we have to spend 6 mana or 6 money. And this power is gonna trigger in 3 turns. So we have 3 turns, 3 of the nemesis turns to get rid of it. So what's gonna happen is we're gonna use tokens. There's 3 tokens to kind of keep track of when the power is going to trigger. And during the nemesis next turn, this thing will lose 1 token. During the nemesis next turn, he'll lose another token. And then once all tokens are gone, this power triggers and Umbra Titan loses 2 nemesis tokens. And he will only have 6 left in order to win. Because if he loses all his tokens, we lose the game. So now I have to worry about making mana and have a distraction that I need to kill, and the nemesis is still at 68 health. Okay, so next up is me. I've got 1 damage. I guess we'll start beating the oh my goodness, grubber. So he's down to 4 health. Okay, go like that. And that's all I can do as far as casting, so I'll go my main phase. I got my Heart Forge, and I have a Spark that I can upgrade. I also have a 2 forged crystals, which is $4, and I have my new spell, Radiant Touch, cast, deal 1 damage and gain 1 charge. So I'm going to go ahead and use my Heart Forge to upgrade my Spark. So my Spark is destroyed, and my Forged Spark comes right into my hand. And now I'm going to prep these 2 spells. I have 4 mana, so I can also think of focusing something, so to make it cheaper, or I can buy me something. There's nothing that costs 4 except for Kindle. I think I'm going to focus my biggest breach. Let me get rid of this. And I've used my $4, and now I'm just going to prep stuff here because it doesn't matter where I prep it, it's still the same. And now I'm going to put my 2 crystals first. Actually, there's a Spark here, so I'm going to keep this one next to the Spark. to see if I can upgrade it. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got 5. Then next up, it's me. Okay, so let's see. I can deal 1 damage and gain a charge. So I'm going to charge. And I'm going to deal 1 damage to this guy. And then I can deal another 2 damage. So he's almost dead, but not quite. And I put that in my discard pile. I got 2 crystals. I got my lurking cyanide that gives me 2, so I have $4, and I got 2 sparks to prep. So with $4, I could charge twice, or I think I'm going to focus my what do you call it? My number 4, because I do want to start hitting a little bit harder. And that was it for me. So I'm gonna put my lurking cyanide first, I think. Although there's some, no, okay, sure. And then my 2 crystals. Then I draw 5 cards. And then we check the turn order card. And it's me. So maybe I can I know I can finish him. So it's 1 damage to him. And he's done. He didn't get to do it. He acted once, I think. I don't even remember. And then of course we put the newest to the left. And then I have another damage. I cannot hit this with damage. I gotta just discard. I use 6 mana to get rid of it. So of course I'm just gonna hit the big guy. Okay, so this is my hand. I got $5. Then I got my Heat Forge, which I'm gonna use to upgrade a spark, and it goes into my hand. So now I have a 2. I played this one. And then I can use $5 to do something cool, and I can prep my spells. Played this one. I wish these things would open with $5, but they don't. $5 will get me a Thieving Spirit, which deals 4 damage. That's pretty good. I can also get more charges. I can also focus for 3. I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to use 2, 3 to focus this one. It's almost there now. I have to pay 5 to open it, or 3 more to focus it. So you end up paying more if you start focusing instead of opening. You end up paying more, but you can do it in a few turns. So that's really the advantage of that. I'm just gonna put my spark there, and then for $2, I'm gonna get me another one of these things that gives me a charge. I know it only deals 1 damage, but the charge is what I'm looking for. All right, and then how do I want to place this? My Heat Forge will go with my crystal, and I'll put the Forge crystals first so I get to them faster. And then flip, and we know the Nemesis, no, there's still a chance that it's me again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I wasn't at 6 mana, was it? Was I? No, I was at 5 mana. So if I would have been at 6, I would have gotten rid. So I need to make sure I'm getting mana, because that's really important to get rid of these things. I know that Nemesis is last. Alright, so I've got 2 damage, which will go to the big guy. He's at 65. And then I got 2 crystals and my lurking cyanide. I got 2 spells. The one that gives me a charge and the one that deals 2 damage, my Forge Spark. So I got $4 because there's still nothing in my discard pile. I need to get me another one of these. I don't want to spend 3. Well, I probably should. I think I'm going to focus this and have it be cheap. So that was my $4. 2, 3, 4. And then I'm going to just prep my spells. I'll see that first. And let's see what the minion, the Nemesis has in store for us, because we know it's here. Okay. So the first thing that happens is, like I said, this loses a power, which means it's ever closer to triggering, and we get something else. Another distraction. This one is Cryptid. Persistent, the players with the most expensive prep spell discards that spell, so that would be me because I'm the only player. And Ultra Titan loses 1 Nemesis token. So if I don't have anything prepped, Ultra Titan will lose a token. Ultra Titan, Umbra Titan. Okay, so there's the 6. And we go ahead and shuffle again. And I'm first. So we'll start hitting the distraction, 2 damage. So I'm going to make change. 2, 3, and then 1 damage and gain a charge. So here's my charge. 1 damage. I got $4. I got a spell and 2 sparks. I don't know that I have breaches for all of this. Well, I do, because with my $4, I'm going to open my breach, and that down here reminds you, plus 1 damage on cast. I will put, I guess, a spark there, spark here, and this one there. And that is my turn. I spent all my money. These are the same, so I'll just put them there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I go again. So you're dealing 2 damage here. So that's 2 damage to our monster. 1 because of the spark, 1 because of the breach. And then we'll deal 1 more damage and get rid of him. I almost put him on my discard pile. Okay. And that was with my draining touch, which means I also gain a charge. So we're almost there. My draining touch is doing the work for me, letting me not spend the 2 mana. And then I have 1 more damage. It's going to go to the big guy. Okay. And in my hand, I have my Heat Forge. That means that I can upgrade one of my crystals. And I have a Forge Spark, which you know is going to go on the level 4 breach, so I can do plus 1 damage. And I will get rid of one of my crystals and upgrade it, but even like that, I don't make it to 6. I got 2 for 5. Almost. Like that. I'm prepping my spell. I still don't have the stuff that I need, but I have 2, 4, and 5 mana. I could open my 3rd breach, or I can buy me something. I think I like the Ruin Luminium. It not only does it let you gain 2 mana, but also it lets me draw a card, because I am the ally. And what are we gonna, we want these 2 together so that they can upgrade. And then we'll put the crystal and that. Hopefully I'll buy another one of those. I'm gonna get 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we're still at level 1 cards, but soon it won't be. Alright, we go again. Okay. So I've got 3 damage and no target except for the big guy. So he's down to 61. Now we know that, oh no, there's still 1 more chance for me to go. We've got crystals, 2 forged crystals. We got our spell. We got another crystal. So again, 2, 4, 5. Didn't make it to 6. And we got 2 spells. I'm going to go ahead and use my 5 to open this one so that I can start doing more damage. And now that all of my breaches are open, I don't need to worry about them anymore. I can start buying better cards, charge up. Wait, I made it 5, yeah. Try to control that, but most importantly, try and buy better cards. Okay, so we'll put the crystal here because I know there's the Heart Forge. And then these here. And flip it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And is it the Nemesis? Most probably. No, it's still me. Okay. So I'm dealing 3 here, 2 plus 1 for the breach, and 2 here. So that's 5 more damage. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's at 56. But he's going to act back to back, which means that this thing is going to trigger. First time I'll take one off, and the second one I'll take the other off. So if I can't stop it now, I'm never going to stop it. Well, let's start with this. It's 2, and then any ally draws a card. And then I don't think I made it. I can change that. I have sparks in my hand, but I think I need the mana. Although I don't think I'm going to make it even with this. So do I want to change? If I'm not going to make it, maybe I'll just change my spark into a better spark. So I use this card. And of course, once you're done upgrading all your sparks and your crystals, you're just going to start getting 1 mana, which is not that great. Okay, and then I have a crystal. So I have $3 this turn. And then I have 3 spells. So let's prep the spells and use $3. So I will prep my Forge Spark, which deals 2 damage to the highest breach, and then the others all do 1 damage, so it's no big deal. And like I said, I have $3, so I'm going to give me another Lurking Cyanide to hopefully start making $3 out of those. And I want to see my card that gives me an extra card first. So I'll put it there. Oh, I forgot my heart. Yeah, this one is fine right here, so I can upgrade that crystal when it comes back to me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, got my 5 cards, and it's all nemesis now, isn't it? Yep. Okay, so it loses 1, and we get a minion that is 8. We're already on the level 2, and he's going to trigger in a minute, so I'll show it to you in a minute. Here's his damage counters. And he doesn't do anything now, but since it's a nemesis turn again, we're going to have 2 nasty things happen. So this one, it says Umbra Titan loses 2 nemesis tokens, and then we discard it. So he lost 2. That's not good. And then this guy says persistent. If Umbra Titan has 5 or more nemesis tokens, which it does, it loses a nemesis token. Okay, otherwise Grateful suffers damage, because of course they want to kill Grateful too. And then we get a new card, which is another monster. Oh my goodness. So this one has 9 power. Okay, and then we're done because he doesn't get to act until the next nemesis turn. Put this back here. Okay, so let's hit them. So I got 3 damage here. I think I don't like that guy, so we're gonna try and hit him. So 3 gets a little bit of change. And then I get a charge, which I can decide to use this turn. I mean, like I can use it during my main phase, which is not yet in my casting phase. And 1 more damage. That was this one. And 1 more damage from here. So he's down to 3 damage. Still not dead. And then let's look at my cards and see if I want to use this. I got a little bit of money, a little bit of spells, more money, more spells. So I can prep 2. I have a bunch of breaches open, and maybe I can get some more mana. So, but again, my ability, what it does is it lets me return up to 4 cards that cost 0 from your discard pile into my hand. So I might want to get some more sparks so I can prep. So there's 1. Do I have a crystal? I do, so I might want to get this so I can upgrade my crystal. And there's that. And probably a crystal because I have too many. So I did use my power, so all my charges go away. I'll have to start working on them again. But I think we're going to have a good turn. Hopefully we're next so we can do some real damage here. Okay, so, and is there a lurking cyanide in here? There is. So this is giving me 3 manas. So I got 3, and then I'm going to use my, where is it? Heart Forge to upgrade a crystal. There we go. This one is used. So I've got 5 manas. Now I can get rid of the 6th thing, but it's okay. I have 7 manas and I have 9 manas. Wow, look at that. Okay. And I have 11 manas. Okay, we'll deal with the manas in a minute. We got all 4 sparks, so we'll just prep them like that. That's 3, 6, 8 damage incoming, so I could straight out kill this guy. Next turn, if it's my turn. Okay, and with all my mana, what I want to do? I know I want to buy the Conjure the Lost, so I'll use 5 manas for that. Let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are used. This is used. It goes in my discard pile. And then I have 5 more. So with 5 more manas, I'll give me the one that lets me draw a card. And then I can put this in any shape or way I want. I don't want the lurking cyanides too close together because I want one in my discard pile when the other one is out. So I will keep the Heart Forge and the crystal together. Then these 3 crystals will go first. They're already upgraded. Then these, and lastly this one. And then I got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 cards. It is my turn again. So we're gonna do it. We have 8 damage. I think this is 9 damage. If this minion has 8 or less life, every time you lose this one's nemesis token, so that's not good. So, okay, we'll do 3 damage with this arc and finish this guy off. And then if I had 9 damage, I'll go for him. Problem is, if Nemesis goes, he's gonna be nasty. But I think we still have to kind of beat him down. All we can really do is 1 damage, and I have nothing that does 1 damage, so I might as well give him 5 damage. And hopefully I'll go again. So he's at 5 damage. And then for my cards, I have my card that lets me draw another card. So we got a spark, good. So now we have 3 really horrible spells. And 2, 4, 5, 6. Let me see if there's a lurking. I don't think there is. I think I took it out. Nope, there isn't. So it's only 2 mana. So that's 6 mana though. That's still good. 2, 4, 6 mana, and then 3 spells. Just put them. Doesn't matter. They all do 1 damage. 2 in the right breach. And then with 6 manas, I think I want to conjure the Lost again. Deal 5 damage. You may destroy this if you do Gravehole gains life. So this guy can help me keep Gravehole alive. And then we'll put the ally card first, and since I think this one is, we'll put it like that. I don't, see that's the problem, my memory is horrible, so I don't know where exactly the cyanide thing is. Hopefully far away from the other one. Hopefully I have it now so that there's 1 in my discard pile. Alright, let's hope it's my turn again so I can get rid of that guy. And it is, okay, perfect. So he only needs 4 more damage. There's 2 damage here, and 2 damage here. Unfortunately, I had to use all of them to kill this guy, but I think it's worth it. And I believe I gained a charge, right? Yes, I did. Okay. And I'm going to get another charge from this thing. And I'm going to do 1 damage to the big boss. Finally attacking the big boss again. Feels good. And in my hand, I got a bunch of forge crystals. I got my card that lets me draw another card. I got my big spell. And I got my Heart Forge that is not gonna upgrade anything now, so that's unfortunate. So I got 2, 4, 6, 7 mana, and then I have actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 mana, and a spell. So I'll put my spell here, and I think I want to charge up because I want to take advantage. Do I have 4 cards that cost 0? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I do. So let's see. I will need 6 to charge up. So 2, 4, 6, I'm all charged. I'm going to go ahead and use it. So instead of placing them, I'm just going to take them off and add cards to my hand that cost 0. I've got a spark. Do I have a better spark? Let's hope so, right? I do have a better spark. 1, 2, 3. That would fill up my stuff. So with my other one, I will get, I guess, a crystal. Yeah, I'll get a forge crystal. Okay, so now I've got spells that I can prep. Okay, and then as far as mana, I've got 2, 4. I should have gotten a bad card so I could upgrade with my Heart Forge. I didn't think of that. Instead of the crystal, what do I have? But I think what I have is, I do have a spark, so I would, instead of taking the spark, I'll take a cheap spark, and I will take my crystal, and then I can use my Heart Forge to get rid of this spark and get a better one. So that's like a little smarter, I think, and then prep it so it's the same result. And I still have 4 more mana. I could do some charges, or with 4 mana. I think I'm going to get a Kindle. It's another spell. And you'll see it as soon as it comes back to me. Actually, I don't have to put those there, but I think I want my ally card first. So before I place this, because these I played, put that there. I'll put all my forge stuff first. and then my hard forge in case I don't think it's going to work out because I don't have enough casting spells first. 1, 2. It doesn't matter because I'm not going to get into my hand yet. 1, 2, 3. Forgot about that. Okay, and is it the Nemesis turn? Nope, it's still my turn. Okay, so let's hit the big guy. We got 5 damage here, so 5 plus 1 is 6 damage. 6. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, and 13. 13 damage going for you, my friend. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Wow, that was a good turn. And like I said, now that my breaches are open, I can focus on buying better cards and see how good better cards are. Alright, what's in my hand? And I'm still at full health. Grateful is doing great. I got this thing. I got 2 of these things, so I know there's not one in my discard pile. I also get to draw a card. So let's see what I draw. Draw another spell. That's great. So I got my powerful spell, and then I've got 2, 4, 6, 7 mana. And then with 7 mana, I want to buy, here's 4 mana. I want to buy this Pain Conduit, because if I put it on a breach, it actually adds 2 more damage. So I can really start like hitting hard. So that'll go in my discard pile, and I have 1 mana left from there, so I got 4 mana left. I think I'm gonna charge and be ready to pick up some more cards from my discard pile. And then as far as putting those away, I'll put this one first, then this one, then my crystal, and finally this one to see if I can separate them. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I went back to back to back to back to back. So I think, yeah, it's Nemesis and Nemesis. So, those are terrible. I don't like when the Nemesis goes back to back because then whatever card this is gets to act next turn. Okay, so it'll act right now actually because this is an attack. It just, we do what it says and then it's out of the game. Or back to his discard pile. Any player discard 3 cards in hand or suffers 2 damage. Okay, well let's take a look at my hand. Is there stuff that I want to get rid of? Or do I want to suffer the 2 damage? I like what I got. I think I'm going to suffer the 2 damage. And I'm still at full health. Well, I was at full health. And I do have a card, I believe, here that gives me 2 life, so I just got to buy it. So we'll do that. And then, of course, it's a Nemesis turn again. We know that. And to discard, spend 7 mana. And then we will unleash, which means we do that ability right there. And the player with the most charges suffers 3 damage and loses all their charges. Oh no, my charges. Okay, so we need to spend 7 mana. We're doing pretty good at mana if I do get to go. We'll see. Yes, we do get to go. So the only target is the big guy, so that's 5, 6, 7, gain a charge, 8 more damage. Get rid of this, put in the big spell first. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're getting there. He's at 34. He started at 70, so I don't feel too bad. And you saw my cards, but let's see what we're gonna do with them. Spell, spell, spell. And any ally draws a card. I don't think I'm going to get to 7 mana this turn. I got to 6 mana, unfortunately. We'll do the Kindle here. And then it says, while prepped during your main phase, you may also prep 1 spark to the breach. This spell is prepped too. You cannot use this effect while there is a spark prepped in this breach. So you can only do it once. But that means that my spark will also get +1 damage, so it's great. I don't know if this time around I can do it. I will assume that you can't. They have to wait until next turn to be able to use your, because I just prepped it, but I could be wrong about that. Okay, and I already drew a card, right? Yes, I did. Okay, so I have 6, so you know I want the big spell. You can also charge, and then I'm going to put a card that gives me a card, my card that lets me draw a card first, and then my crystals. And then 1, 2, 3. 4 or 5 cards. Alright, it's my turn again. So we still only have 1 target, so that's 3 damage. And do I want to keep it there and just get what do you call it? A spark here? We'll see. But first let's do 3 damage here. 1, 2, 3. And then this one's going to do 1 more damage. So it's down to 30 and I get a charge. And I have my heat forge. My things are all upgraded. I got only one of these and my other one. So yes, I think I'm going to leave it there because then I can prep that to a higher breach and do 3 damage, and I can prep that to a high breach. So let's prep, and then I have, what is it, 2, 4, 5, so not 7. I waited because now I got 2 things that will do 1 extra damage, and then I got, like I said, 5 manas. With 5 manas, I could prep here. I could use 2 manas and I have 3 left. I think so. I'm going to buy this card for 3 manas. I'm going to charge, and then maybe it's not the right time to trigger my thing because I only have 1 card that costs 0, so I'll wait. But next turn, all this stuff is going to be there. So I'll have a lot of mana, and maybe if I go again, maybe I can get rid of that. And that's it for my turn. I get 5 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Of course, if that triggers, like if he goes back to back, I will lose all my charges, which is not fun. But it's me again, so let's see what we can do. So first of all, we got 6 damage here. So putting him 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I got cast till 3 damage, which is 4 because of my breach, so it's down to 20. Good. And then my spark also is going to do an extra damage, so that's 3 more damage. So he's at 17, guys. Just like that. And then I've got my card that lets me draw an extra card, so I love that. I've got 2 spells. I got a low crystal. I also have my card that adds damage to the breach, so I definitely love that. And then 3, I don't think I have one of those cards in my discard box. I haven't seen it in a while, but let's check. Nope, it's not there. Okay, so let's prep everything and use $2, $4, $5 in mana. But this is my main phase because I already cast it, so I can actually trigger this. And now, let's see, I have 1, 2, I only have 2 spells. So if I use this, I could get back 2 spells. So yes, I'm going to trigger it anyways. I don't want to lose my charges. And we'll put them here so that they're faster. So let's see, how much mana do I have before I go digging into the discard pile? Because I know I want to prep these guys here. And I'm going to prep that thing there. And I have 2, 4, 5. I need 7, so one of the cards I'm going to get is going to be a Forge Crystal to my hand, because that way I can get to 7, and discard that thing, and then I'm going to get a spell for here, and I know there was another spell for here, so it worked out perfect. All my breaches are full, and I also got rid of this card because I'm spending all my mana just to get rid of that so it doesn't trigger. And then how do I want to get rid of this? We'll put this first because I'm sure the other one is coming. We'll put the ally draws a card, or me draw a card kind of deal first, and then these. Okay, and then I got 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Please don't tell me that the Nemesis is going to go back to back again. No, he might not. Okay, so yes, it's the Nemesis. He's got nothing in play, so we get a colonizer. I hate this guy. So pretty much like the one we had at first. When damage is dealt to this minion, reduce the damage to 1, and persistent, any player suffers damage equal to this minion's current life. And with the guy at 17, might not even be worth doing that. It might just be worth hitting hard over at the bad guy. Because we don't have to kill the minions. We only have to kill the boss. The minions will disappear once we kill the big boss. Alright, so let's see if this guy activates and hits me for 3. No, he doesn't. It's actually my turn. How much damage am I doing here? I'm doing 2, 4, 2 because my breach has 2 additional damage. So 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 damage. That will put that guy at 5. But then I'm going to take 3 damage. But I think it's worth it because I will waste 1 damage anyways. When I get my spell that deals 1 damage and gain a charge, I can start hitting that guy. So yes, I'm gonna do 12 damage and put it down to 5 life. Yeah, that sounds about right. And then everything gets thrown away. I have to discard my pain conduit. It says deal 2 additional damage and discard this card. So let's discard it. And let's discard all my forges. But my ability has been proven to be pretty useful, especially because he upgrades the starting cards. Okay, I got my card that lets me draw another one. Love that card. I got crystals, so that's 2, 4. And then I got this one that I don't know if it's only 2, but I think it's still here in the discard pile. Let's check. Yeah, no, that's not it. There it is. So yes, this is 3. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 mana. Anything that takes 7 mana to discard? No, not this turn. Okay, but I have to 7 mana. And then I've got my nice spell, which can finish him off if I get to go again. But I know he's going first. I got 2 of my nice spells. And then this one to start beating down that little guy. So I'll put the draining touch here because I only need 1 damage. And then of course I'm not even going to worry about him because I'll just hit the big guy whenever I go again, which is not going to be next turn. We still have to survive 1 more turn. And then I have 7 manas, which honestly, I'm going to be out of a discard pile very, very soon, so I don't think doing that helps. So let's get another pain conduit for 3, and another one that gives me life in case I end up dying somehow or losing more life than I can afford to lose. Then to discard, put the ally, draws a card, and then just like that. Okay, and then I have 1. We're almost done. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 cards in my hand. Of course, the Nemesis is going to go. So this guy is going to deal 3 damage to me, leaving me at 5. But I haven't died yet. But of course, that could change right now. And he's going to get an attack. The players collectively destroy the 2 most expensive prep spells. Oh no, that would mean I would be able to finish him. Or Umbra Titan loses 2 Nemesis tokens. Okay, well since we know that he's about to die, we're going to lose the 2 Nemesis tokens. It's dangerous. He only has 3 more. And if he gets to go again, we'll have to take the pain and take another 3 damage. So let's hope that it's us first. Okay, and it is us first. Okay, actually I saw the next one. I saw us next time too. But that's besides the point. So yes, here's 6 damage. That puts the monster at 0. But we are done and we did it. And it wasn't half bad. We did lose half our health. But I think the Greybull stayed pretty good at 28. I mean, Greybull only lost 2 lives. So 2 people in Greybull died. Sorry guys. At probably 2,000, right? Because his primary population 30,000. I don't know. I don't know how this works. Anyways, that was a full run through of a solo playthrough of Aeon's End, one of my favorite deck builders. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Well guys, so you have it. That was a full run through of a solo playthrough. Like I said before, I've done a 2-player run through already, so you can check that on the channel. But I just felt like I wanted to go ahead and show you the solo. Also, I'm going through my board game collection, trying to cull some games because I do have many more than I actually play. And the ones that I find interesting, or that I haven't done in a while, or that I can do it in a different way, I'm doing. I am expecting a new game soon, so I will also be playing that and showing you, that game when it arrives. I'm very excited about it. It looks really cool. I hope it is. What do they call it? Like a Hero Quest, but upgraded? I don't know. It's tough to upgrade Hero Quest. By the way, Hero Quest was just out on the channel, so if you haven't checked that out, go check it out. We're running through the campaign. But I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I really do like this game. I'm not getting rid of it. It's one of the ones that's going to stay in my collection, even though I already have it on my iPad, so I can actually play it on my tablet. And I don't have to set it up or do anything like that. But I do like the feel of having it in front of me with my mat and just organizing it and using all the cards. Obviously, if you play it on the tablet, you have to buy a few things if you want to get more cards and stuff. And I've already invested so much that board game it is. But don't forget to follow us on social media and subscribe to Meeple Village if you haven't done so already. We're 2,000 strong, and that's all thanks to you guys. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'll see you in the next one, but until then, may you play more games.
The world just keeps on turning. Let's make an escape and break them all the binders. Let's read them today.